Hello and welcome to my first YouTube video. Let's first get into all the products you're going to need to make this woodgrain and rose art. I've already polished these, but the pink one I'm using nail Sesh from Dime Nails, and all the products are going to be from Dime Nails. I'll list everything in the caption, and I do have a code with her so you can get everything. Now on the white base, you're going to use maple and mahogany when we're doing the woodgrain nail. And then for the pink one, we're going to use Vamp, Hunter, and Lavish. And these are all of her original marble inks that she has on her website. You're also going to need some sort of palette, a dapping dish with acetone, and then we're going to use two of the brushes that she has. One is the signature marble ink brush, and the other one is going to be the aqua brush, which is a little thinner. And then you're going to need all the essentials, which is the ultimate matte high definition glossy and the sealing gel. Now let's get into it. We're going to start off with the woodgrain nail that is going to be on top of the white base. Now, anytime you're using Dime Nails marble inks, you have to apply them over a matte top coat. That's the best way they are going to be able to move. You're going to be able to manipulate the ink. So anytime you're using those original Marble Queen inks, make sure it's put over a matte top coat, which is what we're doing right now. Also, make sure you always give them a good shake. Now, once you have your matte base, we're going to go in with mahogany, and we're going to start just putting on some lines with the ink. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be symmetrical. This can be however you want. I end up going with mahogany, and then I'm putting maple in between, kind of on top, just however you want to do it. If you feel like you wanted a little bit more depth, you can add more of the darker one, which is mahogany, which is what I did here. And then after you've done getting it to the way you want it, make sure all of that ink gets dry. You see how it's kind of wet? You want it to look like this, where it's dry. And then this is where you start just carving out lines. You're going to dip your brush into the acetone and just start carving out lines. You can make that little, I forget what it's called, it's on the tree trunk, you know, those little swirlies. You can make those. You can just go straight up and down. As you're removing the ink, it pulls the color to the sides and takes it out of the middle, which just gives it that awesome like dimension. And this is also the great thing about marble inks. They are so easy to work with. Like, you can't go wrong. If you happen to take off a little bit too much, all you have to do is get more ink. See right there, I feel like I took a little too much. But all you have to do is plop some more ink on there. And then I'm just working around it a little bit so that part I just put on dries a little bit. Doesn't have to be fully dry because I'm going to manipulate it and move it around. Once I'm done and you see the end results, you'll see close up how great and awesome these little lines look and how the ink pulls the color to like small little vein looking lines, and it looks so cool. And now once you're done and have the desired look that you want, the next step you're going to do is put the Marble Queen Inks sealing gel. This is just to make sure nothing happens to what you just did. This is also great for layering, like if you're going to add another marble ink on top, a different color, or if you're going to put flakes or chrome or something like that. This is just to secure what you have right now. And then you're going to cure for 60 seconds. Now, all you need is a nice, thin, even layer. And once that's out, since the display ones I have over there are shiny, I'm going to do this one with a matte top coat. Now, the sealing gel does have an inhibition layer, so you do need to wipe that off. And that's just simply using a nail wipe with some isopropyl alcohol. You can kind of already see the details popping out once you add like a shine to this. But since we're doing matte top coat, it's going to look a little different, but you're still going to be able to see all of those like little detailed lines from the ink. And ta-da! The wood grain is done. It looks so good, both shiny and matte, to be honest. But all of the details show through. Can't wait to see you try it. Okay, next up are the ink roses. And please make sure you are closing all the inks you're not using anymore. Okay, for this one, we are going to be using the aqua brush, which is a lot skinnier, a lot thinner, but this is going to be perfect for making the petals. Again, starting with a matte base and making sure you give your ink a good little shake. We're going to be using Vamp. Now this technique is a little bit different. You're going to apply some of the ink onto your palette because this time you're going to actually be drawing with the ink. So get your brush, make sure you saturate the whole thing in the ink, and then you're just going to start drawing on your petals. Now, I really don't know how to explain to do this. You're kind of just going from one side to the other. If you need to add more ink, go ahead and add it. But you're kind of just going from left to right, bringing the ends skinny, and then kind of pushing your brush to make the center of the petals a little bit fatter. I think that makes sense, right? Like you can kind of see where I kind of push a little more in the center, which is like the fatter part. But you're going to do this, I did it about 3 times. You can even do it 4, however many times you want to do it on the nail to get those petals. However many you can fit. I mean, this is obviously going to change if you're a client or if you're doing this on yourself with the length of the nail. And just roll with it. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be symmetrical. I mean, real roses are not symmetrical or the same. So they are, what is the eyebrow saying? Like, they're cousins, not sisters. So I just went with 3 this time. And then once you're done and going to start the different color, you're going to wipe off your palette, make sure your brush is clean. And now we're going to go in with Lavish. Do the same thing, shake it up, putting some on the palette. And I just do about 2 dips worth. And then you're going to do the same thing, which is saturating your brush. And now for the petals, I'm just kind of going in and making like little triangles. I kind of like to do where you go like fat at the top and then make your way down. Kind of like, I don't know if you've ever done watercoloring. It's kind of like that concept. But I'm just doing 2-on-1 or 1-on-1. Do however you want. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be symmetrical. And that's the main green you're going to use. The next color, which is Hunter, I'm only going to put 1 little dap because this one I'm just adding a little bit of the darker green to go on the top of the leaves. It even still looks great just with the Lavish color. Like you don't even have to add this one if you don't want to. And now once you've done all of this ink, again, make sure all of it is dry. Once it's dry, you're going to go in and add the sealing gel just like you did on the wood grain. And just 1 thin, even layer. And all of the products I used are from Dime Nails. If you're not following her on Instagram, please do. She has amazing products. She does amazing work. She is known for marble inks. Like that is her thing. Removing the inhibition layer, and I'm doing the same thing as the wood grain since the displays were shiny. We're going to do the ultimate matte on this one. And was that not easy? Super easy, right? I cannot wait to see if you guys try it out. But here are the final looks. Thank you for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial and stay tuned. I will be doing much more and also some nail vlogs.